Welcome to a brand new episode of the Well You're Wrong podcast, the podcast that is a lighthearted, unprovable argument without any references to ice cream. Not one reference to ice cream. You guys blew it. I am your host, Josh.
And I am your co-host, Jeff.
That's right. Know your fucking place this week. And as always, we're going to come in here and talk about things that just bother us. This podcast could have many names. Two older men angry. That's basically what it is.
Absolutely.
That should be the tagline, but I don't think that would sell enough, and we'd be lumped in with other things that we don't enjoy. So
exactly, I agree with that.
This week we're going to be talking about all things fast food. And
Yum.
And you may be thinking to yourself, well, how can you be wrong about fast food? And you are. Whatever you're thinking right now, you're wrong.
You are.
You're wrong.
You're so wrong.
So yeah, strap in. It's going to be a doozy. Before we go any further, let's do our beer of the week. This week we're doing F5 Imperial IPA by Coop Ale Works out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. 9.1% alcohol by volume.
And 50 IBUs.
50 BTUs.
IBUs.
Tell everybody what that means again.
Hops.
It means hops. It's German for hops. It's IBU, right?
International something units.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
It smells hoppy.
It is.
On the scale of what? We looked this up once, right? The IBUs are a scale of. You don't have the research for that?
I don't.
This isn't a research podcast.
Yeah, it's really not.
Well, that's hoppy. That does.
Yes,
that
it
tastes
is.
like hops.
Oh, it's so good.
And I know a lot of people like hoppy beers, and in the true theme of the podcast, you're wrong for it. You're so wrong for it.
You were not wrong if you like hoppy beer. So for me, with beer, like the hoppy side of it, it doesn't hurt like my jaw and stuff like that. If I have a very high wheat content beer, it will actually hurt my jaw and it'll send sharp pains like that. So I substitute instead of wheat, like I used to love wheat beer. Then I got old and that started happening.
Yeah.
And
do you have gout?
I do actually have
Do you
gout.
really? I was just kidding. I'm so sorry.
Yes, I
didn't
do.
mean to make fun of your medical condition.
Yeah. So thanks for that. HIPAA regulations and all, but that's fine.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
But no, I do have gout and like it gets my feet.
Yeah, I bet.
And it just burns.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I don't do wheat for a few reasons. Gout being one of them. Thank you for throwing that out there. The other reason is like it does send sharp pains up my jaw where I can substitute hops basically for the wheat. And with hops, you get a lot of different flavors. You get citrus flavors. You can get.
They're mostly hops flavors, though. I mean, you can call it what you want, but that's like when people are like, oh, this seafood doesn't even taste fishy. I can tell it came from the water. Like, you know what I mean? Like it all tastes like hops.
All of seafood tastes like it came out of the water.
Yes, that's my point. People argue that, this one doesn't taste that fishy. Bullshit. It absolutely does.
Shrimp doesn't taste like it came out of the water.
It absolutely tastes like all of the rest of them.
Well, that's a whole different subject.
Oh, we'll have an episode on it, I
Actually,
promise.
we could go into that one. There's not many left, but Long John Silver's.
yeah.
And I'm not sure if it's real fish.
Did you guys have a Captain D's? Do you guys have Captain D's around here?
No, we had Long John Silver's.
We had both. We had growing up.
We had the real one. I've heard of Captain D's.
Yeah, we had Captain D's also.
Yeah, I think that was more regional for
it might have been,
that area.
That makes sense.
Because I think Ohio had them, and then it never made it down to Oklahoma. We're 15 to 20 years late on anything here in Oklahoma.
True, yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, if it doesn't last 20 years, we ain't getting it.
That makes sense. I actually like, weirdly enough, I like Long John Silver's. I don't eat the fish there.
Their chicken was awesome.
Yeah. And the little
crunchies.
The crunchy things, man, like that. Like I think they call them chicken planks instead of chicken fingers.
They did, yeah.
And just get like some of those with the crunchies. I used to have a couple of roommates, and we would go get this like fisherman's feast or whatever the hell it was called. And like they would eat the fish and the shrimp, but I would just eat like fries, hush puppies, chicken, and crunchies. And that the way that tore my stomach up afterwards because it's all just grease and fried. It was awful.
And but it's all the same grease, by the way, that the fish and the
I'm not like allergic to it. I'm not mad about it. I just don't like the flavor, I like the taste.
The other thing from and like this isn't anywhere in my stuff today, but one of their greatest things was their clams. And I know you're not going to like it, but they were so good and they were small. They were just like, there was like the snack food. I really like their clams.
I have a funny story before we move on. I have a funny story about clams. I was in 5th grade and my grandpa took me to Reelfoot Lake in Tennessee on a fishing trip. And we went to this like a seafood buffet thing where everybody, people would come in and fish at this lodge. And they had such good food. And I went up in this buffet and these little things looked amazing, right? These little fries, like these like little chicken strips or something. And I get like a whole plate full and I bit into it. And I was sick the rest of the time. Like it messed with my mind so much, like that I could not handle anything the rest of the time. Oh, it was so gross. I also had a lot of frog legs that time.
I love frog legs.
Frog legs are good. I haven't had them since then.
Yeah.
I love
them.
Do
they taste like water?
Not nearly as much, no. Just like alligator. I've had alligator.
Yeah.
And it's like a texture of fish, but it tastes more like chicken. So I don't mind that. And like I can do shrimp if it's like breaded and deep fried, or even fish if it's breaded and deep fried. Right. Like if it's like a catfish or crappie, something like that. Yeah. Walleye, I can do those. But to just like sit down and eat salmon or like, I just can't do it.
And I get that. I mean, I'll eat salmon or something like that. But if I go to a restaurant, like if I go to a fishy restaurant, they have one on the Hook. Yeah. That's not Hook and Reel.
Hook and Reel.
And it's a seafood type place. Yeah. But I'm not eating their salmon. I'm getting crab legs. I'm getting the potatoes. I'm getting all that stuff that's mixed with the garlic butter that's just mixed in a bag together.
Yeah, with all the bugs. Because that's what they are.
Well, yeah.
Crabs and lobsters are bugs. If anyone's listening to this and they're thinking to themselves, oh, that's not true. There is no difference, not one single difference between a lobster and a cockroach. Not one.
Well, I mean, one is bigger.
That's it.
Well, that's one difference. You said not one difference. So who's wrong now?
Anyway, none of this has anything to do with fast food. That's not what we're here to talk about today. So yeah, strap in for a fun episode of arguing over fast food topics.
Yes, absolutely. What should we call our fan base, though? Because I mean,
our fan base that's surely to come.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, because right now there's just one person and she has a name and I can call her that. But like I get what you're saying. Every podcast, like the people that, the fan have the name, right?
I think that's an important question.
Obviously, it should have something to do with the theme of being wrong. What do you call a group of wrong people? Republicans. Sorry.
No.
What do you? What? I don't know. What should the fan base be called? Do you have any ideas?
I don't really.
I think we're gonna have to open it up.
Yeah, we'll have to open it up
to
our
social media. Yeah, to our person. Let's ask her.
Just ask her. She'll come up with it.
Yeah, we'll have to open it up to social media, and maybe by then we'll have 3 or 4 people.
Yeah,
and they can vote.
Right
on it.
But yeah, when you're wrong, what are you? You're
Jeff.
I was gonna say Josh or the host, quote unquote.
Exactly. I don't know. I don't know what it should be called, but that's definitely something that we'll need a name for them because I you know what, my tone in the beginning was that it wasn't going to take off, but I got to tell you, we've been knocking them out of the park, baby. we're going places,
serving us up.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll put that. Go to our Instagram and we'll give you the deets to that later on, and let us know what you guys want to be called.
That sounds like a plan to me. So, Josh, I have a very important question for you today.
Yeah, or are we on NPR now?
We can be.
Okay, yeah.
That would be awesome, actually. What if they could name our... I mean, I'd let them do it. I'd let them name...
NPR?
Yeah.
I don't think we have the right kind of mindset for NPR.
I don't think we have the right mindset for podcast in general, but that's beside the point.
Podcasts we do. This is on our own. This is freelance. NPR has too many rules and regulations.
That's true. That's true.
I can't be cooped up like that.
Right.
Dad's got
cooped up like our coop beer.
Exactly. Tastes like a tornado.
Oh, it's so good. It's like going out and chasing them. I'll chase this.
You're gonna yeah,
I'll chase
I
this
do.
all day
I
long.
need something to chase it with. That's what it is.
What, like water?
It's weird because like I don't. Yeah, maybe. I don't mind. Like, back to the beer thing. I don't mind the hoppiness. I can drink it. I'm kidding. But as I get older, I realize like I like a dark beer now. You know what I mean? Like a real like caramelized.
So like a Guinness style?
Yeah,
or
like Guinness.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate Guinness.
My favorite beer of all time.
Nothing against Guinness. If you want to support us, you sure can.
Every listener we had now is turning it off because
Yeah. I don't hate Guinness. It's not for me.
my favorite beer. I won't even bring it up yet. And say what it is. I won't ruin the surprise, but it's coming. I'm going to bring it so you can try it, and we'll review it and see if you like it.
Sweet.
I think we're on the opposite ends of the beer spectrum.
We are, and that's fine.
Anyway, I'm so sorry I derailed you. What was your very important question?
How was your week?
Man, my week was all right. My week was pretty good. I busy with work and taking care of the kiddo and just trying to manage all of the fan mail that we're getting.
Yeah. That's a tough job.
They keep sending you locks of hair. I got to tell you, the crazy women love you, man.
I don't think they're all women.
Well, I may not be. I didn't go that deep into it.
I mean, nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying.
No, you're right though. You put off a vibe. I get it.
I do.
I get it.
That's fine.
I get it. But no, man.
No matter what bar I go into, I can get free drinks.
That's not, dude. Here's something that people are wrong about: the being offended if anyone finds you attractive enough to hit on you.
No, absolutely.
Obviously, not in a sleazy or gross way, because women have to deal with that on a whole other level. But
I do too. Those man,
yeah, no,
you know how many women come on to me and I just have to back off. I'm married all the time.
I don't know. I've been around. I feel like when you go places, it's usually with me, and I've not experienced that.
I think that's more of a you vibe than a me vibe. I'm just saying.
It's because I'm there. They're like, oh man, whatever. I get it. We look like we're together.
Yeah,
that's what it
exactly.
is. No,
that's why nobody buys me drinks either.
It should be nothing but flattering for someone to be like,
right.
hey, you look good. Like, so if you think otherwise, you're wrong. You're so wrong.
And if you're listening out there, Coupe Ale, F5 Imperial IPA is very good. Just saying.
He's gonna keep trying, huh? But how was your week, man?
It was really good. So our hometown here, we had a little basketball state tournaments going on, and our hometown got to go to the state tournament. And today they played, and they won today, so that was good. So they're moving on to the semifinals. They're a very good team. We have some really good players. So yeah, it's awesome.
That's great.
Also,
way to go, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Go Eagles. Also working on the audio for the podcast.
Yeah, that's been a
adventure.
Yeah, that's a good word. That's better than the word I was going to use. I like your word better. I was going to say disaster, but no, it's fine. We're doing fine.
Yeah,
everything's fine. I hope someone is hearing this.
Yeah, we're trying out all kinds of new stuff. We're just going with it. One good thing though is we got new equipment.
Yes.
So hopefully it's sounding better. We have no idea really.
We're here in the studio like real podcasters now with real professional microphones.
Yeah.
And sound interfaces.
Audio interfaces.
Not mixers. I didn't say mixer. I said sound interface, which is the same thing. I don't do this for a living. I talk into one. It's your job.
I was just correcting you beforehand, before you said it.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
I need it.
That's what I'm here for.
My job is to talk into it. I'm the entertainment. Baby.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
You're in charge of making sure it all runs.
That is true. Now, one last thing for this week was fun and enjoyable as a parent. You ever have that kid that just doesn't do what he's supposed to do?
Yes.
Children. I have two of them.
Yeah, that's children.
Yeah. I have two kids, by the way. So, yeah, I have two of them. But one child, he is 16 years old, and he decides to just not do his homework. So he brings home a progress report, and we have to sign it.
Uh-oh.
Now, he just tells us over the phone first on his drive home. He's like, oh, it really is, because, I probably would have thrown him through a window. But, yeah, he and it all started in the past couple of weeks. He just stopped doing his homework. So yeah, that was fun. So he lost his vehicle, which he just got back from the shop today. And so he lost that for about a week or so. I told him it was until he got a B. He has a D right now, and he has to get it up to a B. The problem with that is, his school is 20 minutes away.
Yeah, you don't want to get up and take him. So basically, he gets to go to school and come home.
That's it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So he has to go to school, come straight home. He has to miss the track meet. That's tomorrow.
Oh, man.
So
what class is it in? Do you mind saying?
Geometry.
Geometry. Can I tell you something?
I hate geometry.
I failed geometry in high
Yeah,
school.
I hate geometry. The thing is, we pay for a tutor.
Well, that's different. Yeah, I failed it because I stopped doing my homework.
Right. And before he stopped doing his work in the past, it's been since the 18th of, so it's almost a month now, really. Yeah. But before that, he had a high B, almost an A.
And then he just
stopped doing his work.
What is he doing with the tutor?
Well, that's a great question. And if you look back at it, his progress report and everything, you can see that he goes to his tutor once a week. And on those days he turned in his assignments. Those are the only days he turned in assignments.
The tutor would help him work through that. And
right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But he wouldn't do the rest of it. So he didn't do well on the 2 tests that were within that month.
And he thought that you weren't going to find out. Or
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Children.
Yeah, that's a good time, man. My stepson is about to graduate and never once had any issues with grades with him. The kid does his homework in class. I've never even seen him do homework, I don't think.
Yeah.
And I fear that Dawson might be more like me. I was just like, I don't need to do this. I don't want to do it. It's dumb.
Right.
So he refuses. And I don't know. I can't let that happen, but I also can't get mad at him because I understand. I was there. It is dumb. I'm sorry. Homework is dumb. If you're in class, you should do it in class.
I don't disagree
on that. Yeah, I think the homework is dumb. But I also don't know how you teach geometry in 45 minutes or whatever. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I'm 47. I haven't learned it yet. So
dude, when they started angles and shapes, I'm like, this.
He's working on sine and cosine right now.
Yeah, see, I still can't do that.
Funny story on that one. He walks in, he says, "What do you know about sine and cosine?" And my wife thought he was talking about loans.
I had a pretty heated argument, surprise, with my geometry teacher as I was failing, because he was telling me that I would need to know this at some point because I couldn't always have a calculator with me.
Yeah. How's that working for you now?
He was fucking wrong.
Right.
But obviously your kid needs to learn because it's required.
It's required. And that's my thing to him. Like I told him, I was like, I don't care if, you don't think you're going to use it or if whatever, you still have to get a grade in the class. So just learn it now, forget it later. I don't care at that point.
Dude, I genuinely being honest, I can't think of a single time I've ever needed it to the point where it was detrimental.
Right.
And that's most things that you learn in school, especially college. At least in elementary through high school.
Right.
You learn things, especially when it comes to history and English. You will need those. Even if you don't know you're using them, you're going to need them.
Right.
But in college, there's very little I did in college that I feel like is helping me with anything in my life.
I totally agree with you. But at the same time, I mean, maybe if I did, maybe I'd be, more successful in my job. And who knows? Who knows? Looking back and that type of stuff. And like I was telling my son, I mean, depending on if he goes into engineering, you're going to use some of that stuff a lot more. If you go engineering.
I don't even mean that as an insult. That sounded like a dick. That sounded like a dick. I just don't.
We're lucky if he's not a panhandler.
That's not what I mean at all. I would never. First of all, I would say that to him because it would be funny. But
yeah, right.
I would never say that in earnesty. I just that doesn't seem like the path that he wants to take.
Right.
Just from what I know of his personality. That's all I meant by that. He's not going to go into engineering. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
Are you kidding me? There's a good reason I have a basement. So
for him to stay in?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that's do I have to start coming in there When we record separately now.
No, isn't there? And I'm not going to lock them in it or anything like that. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, man, that's other than that, that sounds like not a bad week then.
No, it's been a pretty good week. So our next thing we're going to talk about will be our funny news.
Hit me with it, man. Hit me with the news.
Our funny news is not only funny, but a little terrifying this year.
Okay, I like
this year, this week.
This year?
Yeah. It may be this year. We may talk about this for a year.
Dude, okay. I'm with it. Let's do
All
it.
right. So, a father-son duo kayaking off the coast of Chile.
I already hate it. Go on.
Okay, Chile.
No, I don't mean the way you say it. I
thought you just meant how I was talking.
kayaking, first of all, and then kayaking with my son sounds like a nightmare, but go on.
I don't disagree with that. I've actually kayaked with my son twice.
God.
I did it once and then did it again. Why? I don't know.
That's on you.
Anyways, has made waves after sharing a video of what appears.
Made waves. Sorry, go on.
It's made waves for sharing a video of what appears to show a humpback whale briefly scooping one of them up into its mouth.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
How freaking scary would that be? Number one, not only for the person that got scooped,
But for the whale.
that's what I was going with too. That whale's like, what the hell?
Like, when you think you ordered like Dr. Pepper and then you drink it and it's sweet tea. You like sweet tea, but it's still, it's like, what the hell?
It's a shock.
I bet that's what that whale felt like. Poor whale. Go on anyway.
Yes. So Adrian Simakis was kayaking in the Strait of Magellan in southern Chile on Saturday when the whale suddenly surfaced and engulfed him, according to the Associated Press. I thought it had already eaten and swallowed me, the 24-year-old. That's pretty young to be swallowed by a whale. I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, how old was that Bible guy? Jonah.
Jonah, that's what I was just about to say. I imagine he was older, but maybe not. I mean, because, they only live to like 30, unless, you're Moses and then you're 90. But
that's not what I have heard. People tell me that people in the Bible live to be thousands of years old.
That's probably true, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But then also tell you that,
yeah, that's a whole different podcast.
Which we might start, because it's hard for me to keep opinions in. If you know me at all on a personal level, it's difficult for me not to dig in deep. So we might have a podcast that's for that lane. We'll see. Well, if this one picks up, let's have 1 million. You know what I mean?
Well, if this one picks up, we may not want to do that one because then this one may drop.
This one will get canceled also. I get it.
So the 24-year-old later told the AP, at first, when I thought I had died, it was of course a lot of terror because I thought, no, there was nothing I could do. Yeah, that would be freaking scary as hell, man.
So the 24-year-old was the son?
Yes.
Okay, because I was going to say, if he's the father and he was kayaking with a toddler.
Yeah, that would even be... well, the thing is, like a toddler would probably be swallowed completely.
Yeah.
Like a grown adult really can't be swallowed by a whale.
Yeah. Well, I've seen movies, Jeff, and I beg to differ.
Yeah, because movies are always true.
100% of the time.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So he was swallowed, or he looked like he was swallowed?
Looked like he was swallowed.
So he wasn't swallowed?
No, he was gulped.
He was just in the mouth.
Right.
Like a whale, like when it comes out, it's like a big mouthful of water, and then he just spits it right back out.
Usually you get and this may go into this. I haven't read that far on this.
Oh, okay. We're not done. No. I'm so sorry. I keep interrupting you.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant like I haven't even read this whole thing. I thought this was a very interesting, funny story.
It is, yeah. I do want to know, before you go any further,
yes.
I genuinely in my heart hope that, like in movies and cartoons, he shot him out of the blowhole.
I bet that didn't happen.
I know, but I'm hoping. Listen, my fingers are crossed. You keep reading.
Okay, sounds good. The younger Simakis told CNN that he felt a strong force hit him from behind, lifting him up. Yay. When I turned around, I felt a slimy texture on my face, Simakis says.
Been there. It wasn't a whale.
You sure?
Biologically. It wasn't a whale biologically.
Oh. Once again, we're going to go into that because he also says, I could see colors. like dark blue and white approaching me from behind.
Yeah, this is all
closing around me and pulling me under.
Yeah, been there, man. I've never related so much to anything in my life.
Oh, he actually has a video, and you can go find it on our not in Oklahoma.
Oh man, don't even get me started. That sounds like I'm like a weird addict and I'm like angry about it. I just mean like the whole politics of it.
Yeah, politics, quote unquote. He says. So in his video, shows the whale leaping up, then disappearing underwater with Samachus and his yellow inflatable kayak. So not only took him, but it took the kayak.
Man.
After a few seconds,
where
both
was the dad?
Probably in another kayak. After a few seconds, I mean, I doubt they were in a 2-man kayak.
I wasn't thinking like a tandem kayak. I just mean like, was he not next to him? I think they're kayaking together, like be close together.
So we just learned Josh has never kayaked.
I've never kayaked. Is that a weird thing?
Yeah. How would you kayak right next to somebody?
I don't know. I've never kayaked.
You have oars.
Yeah, I would be like
they're not motor boats. They don't have a motor on the back pushing them.
I don't mean connected.
But you stood right next to them.
I meant like, yeah, pretty close because you're like talking and stuff, right? I mean, you're communicating.
That's not what father and sons do.
I get it. People go out in nature and enjoy it and shit. I'm not like that. I have to have conversation at all times, or I have it.
You walk your dog sometimes. I mean, that's what I call nature.
What?
You walk your dog sometimes.
We can't watch Pornhub. We just talked about that.
Truth.
See, walking your dog is a euphemism,
right? Yes,
for masturbating. So everyone knows.
Not everyone. Some people learn that today.
I doubt.
Good on you.
I doubt any people learn that.
Good on you.
Well, if I could teach you something,
that's all I'm saying, man. That's really, I mean, we may be wrong on this podcast sometimes, but as long as we're teaching people, life skills,
but I guess in my mind, I just assumed you're kayaking. I'm showing visual hand motions with an audio medium. But you would be like pretty close together. Am I wrong on that? Like
you were wrong.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not mad at you for being wrong
on this.
I'm looking at your hand signals, and I'm just saying you're wrong. I'm not saying that you're stupidly wrong or anything like that. You're just my face always looks like that when I'm talking to you. It just kind of has to sometimes.
That. No, I've heard that before.
All right, so where was I?
I don't know. I keep interrupting. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good, dude. So after a few seconds, both the kayak and his life vest clad passenger bobbed back to the surface. I don't know why they said bobbed, but they did. But Samachus says his relief was quickly overtaken by the fear that something would happen to his dad or that he would get hypothermia from being in the water. Apparently it was cold water. They didn't say that beforehand, but Samachus managed to grab onto the boat and swim over to his dad, who paddled them to safety. Paddles, because oars are long. So they couldn't be right next to each other. As he reflected on his experience, he guessed the whale didn't mean him any harm. Which, I mean, duh.
Well,
I mean,
also,
of course.
Maybe it did. You're putting a lot of faith into a whale.
That's true, but it wasn't an orca.
What if that whale was just a dick? What if it does all the time because it thinks it's funny?
Maybe it's like, man, watch these guys. Watch this.
Like, I'm going to scare the shows. That's something I would do.
That's true. I would agree with you. Dude, could you imagine you and I as whales and like just out there? Oh, we'd fuck with so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'd go under a boat and then.
Yeah, I'd run into boats and shit all the time.
Oh, man. We'd be awesome whales.
We would be cool whales, so that's for sure. We'd be the coolest whales.
We would. Yeah. So when I got out, I understood that, of course, it was probably out of curiosity that the whale had approached me, or maybe to communicate something. He said, okay, well, whale experts have another theory.
Yeah. Was that the experts.
The experts. Two researchers told NPR that, oh, wow, NPR. That's funny.
See?
Two researchers told NPR that the most likely explanation is that I lost my words. I apologize. I apologize to our fans. We don't know what you're called yet, but I apologize to you guys.
We say sorry a lot.
The explanation to that Samachus happened to be in the way of the feeding whale, one that was hungry for krill and small fish. not a human, which is kind of what I figured.
Yeah.
Like they were going for the krill and
and it just so happened to be there.
Right.
It could have been a log or a person. And
Right.
The whale doesn't give a shit because it was trying to eat smaller things.
And which is why whales, when they open their mouth, a lot of things come out outside of, the fish that they're eating. They're not like just releasing those. A lot of trash and stuff comes out of whales because of that.
Am I crazy or like?
Yes. Sorry.
Maybe it's just certain whales too, but like, isn't basically there's like filters in there for this purpose, right?
Sort of, yes. Yeah. Not as much as you like. It's not like a grate system to where like it completely closes it out.
Yeah.
But mainly the main thing on a whale is that their throats, even though the whale's huge, their throats are really small. So that's why I said like a normal sized human can't even get in a whale's throat.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Their mouths are huge. No, but we used to go whale watching. Like when I was really little, over in Boston area.
Yeah.
That was one of the first things I remember going out in the ocean and stuff like that, was going whale watching. Cool. So I've always been kind of fascinated with whales just because of that. So, and my wife really likes documentaries about, all these, nature things. And so I've watched like 10 of them because my kids like them too.
Got it. Yeah.
So I get stuck watching them, but they're interesting. And so, yeah, I have learned a few things about whales, but
that's awesome. Okay.
See, so he said that he was hungry for krill and small fish, not a human. My guess is that the whale was just as surprised as the kayaker. I bet fucking not.
I don't think it quite as surprised. No. I mean, that seems like a stretch.
Because I imagine a whale gets, stuff in him. Yeah. He doesn't know it's a human. He doesn't. Yeah, maybe he has taste buds. I don't know that, actually. I wonder if they have taste buds.
Ooh, we should.
Yeah. I think it's really just, they pull shit in. And,
yeah. I mean, the whale just realized, hey, there's something too big in here and spit it back out or let it go or whatever. I don't think that whale was nearly as surprised. I don't think that whale went and told everybody about it. Like, dude, I swallowed a person on accident. Oh, God. Like, I don't think the whale's in
I think they're going to shoot me now.
Yeah. The whale's like,
thank God I'm not in China. Yeah.
I don't think it they do. Yeah, I guess they do eat whales over there, don't they?
Well, they do, and they kill them over there. Yeah. That's a big thing. They do a lot of whale. That's where you get a lot of flubber and stuff like that in China.
Flubber?
Flubber.
Do you mean blubber?
Blubber, you're right. That was a whole different movie. That was a movie, not a. So see, I was wrong also.
Wow.
I can admit when I'm wrong.
That's a funny article, man.
Yeah. So yeah, basically it was just saying, whales can eat humans. They just can't digest humans.
Yeah. Which brings us to our.
Wait. There's another section. More? There is. Whales can't swallow humans.
Okay.
Experts say it's just not possible for a whale to swallow something as large as a person. While their mouths...
Anything is possible.
Well, that's probably true. While their mouths are massive, as wide as 10 feet, their throats are much smaller, roughly the size of a human fist. Now, I didn't know it was that small. I was thinking like, I didn't know that. I will say that.
Human fist?
I was thinking it'd be like, maybe a foot, 2 feet wide.
So what you're saying then is that
you could
story that we're talking about earlier about the Bible was impossible to happen?
Maybe whales were different back then. Maybe they've evolved.
No, they can't evolve. You can't have it both ways, sir. Again, different podcast.
Yeah, whole different podcast. But anyways.
That's crazy.
But they have no interest in eating us, hurting us.
Yeah.
Says scientist. Which I agree with that.
He was trying to grab a meal on the go.
Right. Now, a killer whale, they're just out for blood.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're talking about documentaries, man. Have you watched like Blackfish?
And stuff
like that? That's crazy shit. Yeah. But yeah, just trying to grab a meal on the go, much like our topic of this episode.
Absolutely.
Fast food. Well, let's just jump right into our the first thing I want to talk about, and that is our weekly favorite. And this week, that is going to be very controversial, I feel. What is your favorite French fry?
I can already tell you're wrong.
You're so wrong. I feel like I know the answer to yours.
I don't know if
I've known you a while. I feel like I know your favorite French fry.
Okay.
And it's going to piss me off because it's the worst kind of French fry.
Oh, maybe you do know. The way you just said that, I think, maybe not. I don't know. So we'll find out. So let's start with yours. That way it doesn't start off that way.
Okay. So my favorite fry is going to hands down be a curly fry because they're like seasoned, right? And they're crispy and they're delicious. All right. And there's only a few places that even do that anymore. Like I think Arby's does.
Yeah.
and Hardee's. If you're lucky enough to have a Hardee's and
Right.
not a Carl's Jr., but a Hardee's, you can get curly fries.
If you're lucky enough to have a Hardee's, you should be going there at least twice a week.
Yes, you really should. You're doing yourself a disservice
Because we don't have those here anymore.
No, we don't. We had a Carl's Jr. and I thought they were the same my whole life. Like people were like, oh, there's a West Coast and an East Coast version.
Wrong.
They're not.
Yeah.
They're not the same.
What made Hardee's so special back in the late 80s, early 90s? Do you know? Do you remember
No,
what they gave away with certain meals?
no, I don't know what you're talking about.
California raisins.
Oh, I do. I remember that.
Yeah.
My grandma used to work at a Hardee's.
Yeah.
So I had all of those. And I forgot all about that. You just unlocked a core memory, I think.
That's awesome. I had the whole set at one point, but I actually played with them. So I destroyed them all.
Yeah, they're not worth any money anymore.
No.
But I don't know that you can count curly fries as a favorite French fry because like it's only certain places do it or whatever.
Right.
So I like a thin shoestring French fry. Like them thin and crispy. Freddy's, for example, has them like that. If you ever eaten like at a Steak and Shake, those kind of fries, those thin fries are my favorite.
You're wrong.
You're so wrong. I want to guess, but I don't want to steal your thunder.
Okay.
You picking yours, so you go
So
ahead.
my number one favorite fry is an Arby's curly fry.
Okay, okay, so we agree on that part.
Yes. But my main non-curly fry is McDonald's.
So wrong.
No,
It's so wrong.
I'm telling you right now, you're wrong. Because not only do I say that the McDonald's fry is the best fry, just about any poll that's ever been done about fast food French fries has been McDonald's.
Well, okay. So you're saying that the majority of Americans have the right opinion?
Not just Americans.
Okay. Because let's get into that a little bit.
Not just Americans.
Okay. I think that
I thought you might actually go there.
I have a theory on why. Trust me, I've been thinking about this all week. Going to this, I have a theory of why they're quote unquote America's favorite fries or whatever. It's because they're such a popular place. So that's what you get when you go there because that's what's economical and available, right? If I gave you 6 different French fries, you're blindfolded.
Right.
I don't know that A, you could be able to tell me which one's from McDonald's.
100% I could.
Everyone says this. Or B, if you would pick that as your favorite. I don't think that you would. I am happy. I got to tell you, I'm very happy that you did not say fucking crinkle cut fries because I would come across this desk. If you like a crinkle cut fry over any other fry, just I was going to say kill yourself, but that seems aggressive. Shut the fuck up. I'll tell you that right
So
now.
we have
You're
a local fast food place in Oklahoma called Brahms.
Yeah.
And they have crinkle cut fries.
do.
I'm not a huge fan of them.
No.
I can eat them. It's a potato that's fried. I'll eat it.
Yeah. Eating it and liking it, two very different things.
I will
my
say.
friend.
So I will say though that one thing that does go for the crinkle cut fry. Do you like dipping your fries in sauce or ketchup, or would you rather just have a plain fry?
I would rather just have a plain fry.
So that's where you probably would like a shoestring or anything like that. If people like to dip and they like the different flavors, they want a crinkle cut fry.
Of course, I get
because it pulls that.
Just like when people say they I'm going to say another kind of French fry that people are so wrong for loving.
Nope, absolutely not.
A waffle
you were
fry.
wrong on this one too.
Fry. Well, I love waffle fries.
But
no, you don't.
actually-
You love Chick-fil-A sauce. Go fuck yourself.
Okay, you are correct.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
you are
for
correct.
admitting.
And well, you're halfway correct because Chick-fil-A sauce is fine, but it is not what's good from Chick-fil-A. Honey roasted barbecue
Whatever
sauce.
it is,
Get
you
it
know what I mean?
freaking right. They're two different sauces.
Okay, but whatever the
They're
sauce
two
is, you
separate
dip it in,
sauces.
You like the sauce, right?
That is correct, but you better get it right if you're talking about sauces.
You know what sauce I like from Chick-fil-A?
What's that?
The Polynesian sauce.
It's really good.
I don't know what it is exactly, but it's fucking delicious.
Yeah, it's Polynesian sauce. That's what it
I don't know what
says
that
right on
means.
it.
I don't know what that means. Tell me what that means.
I bet you could Google it. Why do I have to do the work for you?
You're the work guy.
I bet you there's a copycat for it too to make it. I bet you could make it at home.
I don't like it that much. I bet I could just buy it. You could probably just buy it. They sell sauces now.
I don't know if they have the Polynesian sauce. So they do not have.
That seems racist.
They do not have the honey roasted barbecue.
They do. We may not have it here, but they do.
They do not bottle it. They say they don't bottle it. It's one of their main ones that they won't put it in a bottle. I don't know why, because it really makes me mad. Let me tell you.
How often have you ever been to a Red Robin establishment?
Yum.
Yeah, that one.
Well, I mean, you and I are supposed to go for years.
I had a gift card and we tried to go for so long.
I mean,
because there's not one anywhere around us. We tried to go for so long. Have you been ever?
Oh yeah, I've been to it quite a few times actually.
Have you ever tried their campfire sauce?
Yes, I'm not big on spicy though.
It's not spicy.
Campfire sauce?
Yeah, I'm fairly certain it's barbecue sauce and mayonnaise mixed together.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different one.
I'm like 100% sure that's what it is because you can buy Red Robin French fries.
It's been a minute since I've had it, so you're probably.
But it's very good, and I don't like Red Robin French fries because they might as well eat a baked potato. They're so huge, right? Dude,
they're sweet potato fries.
I don't like sweet potatoes.
So I hate, you know me. I hate sweet potatoes. I can't deal with texture. It makes me gag. But fried sweet potatoes, dude, I could do that. But I cannot just eat a sweet potato fry. It has to be dipped into something. I will say you are correct on that. Like I can't just eat a sweet potato fry, but I most definitely can dip it in certain sauces and stuff like that. And they're really good.
So you like sauce is what you're saying.
I do like sauce. And that's where the waffle fry.
And you can eat it.
But you're right. That's why I like the waffle fry.
Of course. And like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's not like if I go there, someone suggests shit, I'm going to start punching them in the face. Like, that's not what's happening here. But like, I don't care for waffle fries.
Right.
It's just,
you're not going to go there for the fries.
No, absolutely not. And people love Raising Cane's.
But
and I got to tell you, if you're listening to this, and you love Raising Cane's, I don't know that you've ever tasted flavor.
Right? My son loves Raising Cane's. I'm like, what in the world is wrong with you?
This goes back to the same thing. Does he eat cane sauce? Does he dip it in sauce?
He smothers it in cane sauce.
That's what people like.
Right.
Cane sauce. It is.
But I don't like cane sauce.
Unseasoned chicken and crinkle cut fucking fries.
But that's because you dip it in sauce.
But yeah. And like I can eat it and I dip it in sauce, but that's not my favorite place by any means.
I will say, over the last probably 6 months to a year, I've had Raising Cane's 2 different or 3 different times. I can tolerate it now. I used to not like it.
Yeah, it's edible if someone wants it. I'm not going to be angry if we're out, but it's not my favorite place.
Right. No, I agree with that. But on the side of like French fries and stuff like that, the other thing I really like is not a French fry, but it is that side of it, and that's Burger King onion rings. Dude,
because they're not like chunks of onions.
Nope.
It's like chopped up onions that are like compressed in. I do like a Burger King onion ring.
Yeah. They're so, and I know that's not a fry, but
no, but I do like that.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean,
it's kind of in that category of,
because most fast food places, right, it's just French fries.
Right.
But then some places they'll do like onion rings like that, or what is it? Wendy's does like just try to baked potato.
The baked potato. Yeah.
Which isn't, I mean, that's not bad. You know what I mean? Right. They're edible. They're edible for sure.
Yeah.
My favorite you didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you, my favorite non-fry side, a mozzarella stick. I love a good mozzarella stick.
See, to me, that's just an appetizer though. It's not a side.
Well, that's fine. Whatever. I mean, I'm just saying things you can get at fast food places. I love mozzarella, except for Burger King. Those are so bad. They're so bad.
Burger King has them?
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
So bad.
I had no idea.
I didn't even think about this until right now. How do you feel about the chicken fries?
It's funny you just said that. I was about to say that too. They're good. My thing with the chicken fries is they have to be cooked right, and it depends on where you go.
I don't get them very often.
Because a lot of times they over fry them. So it's like the hard breading and then like weird chicken in the middle. Yeah. But if they're done right, like if they're really busy, you can get some of the best chicken fries because they have to get them in and out quick.
Real quick, yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing about like Burger King's chicken in general is it is, I think, mostly plaster. So if you overcook it, it just becomes powder, right? Yeah. Like it's such a weird texture that they offer. But that being said, not about French fries, but Burger King, my favorite thing to get at a Burger King is the original chicken sandwich, that cheap, shitty chicken patty, that long, weird. I love it so much.
Yeah. You go back to the chicken sandwich side of it, which I know that's not what we're talking about right now, but
we're talking about all of it, baby. We're talking about all of it.
I still like the old McChicken.
Yeah.
McChicken has changed over the years.
It has.
And it got spicy and like they put different seasonings and stuff like that on there. The old school chicken, it was literally just a chicken breast or chicken stuff squished together, whatever it was. And then just on unseasoned batter with I used to get extra mayo with lettuce.
See,
And it was, I think it was like, we're dating me a little bit, but it was like 73 cents. It used to be one of the best things. I don't remember
them earlier than $1.
Well, that's because you were younger than me.
I wasn't saying that like I wasn't like trying to take a shot at you. I just
actually
when I was buying
when they're in the dollar menu
food,
for a long time.
It was 99 cents, right? A double cheeseburger 99 cents, or McChicken was 99 cents.
Yep.
Because in high school, after a night of drinking, which you're not supposed to do in high school,
and
young listeners,
pops, right? Yeah.
Drinking pop, drinking soda. You're wrong for saying pop.
You're wrong for saying soda.
I would go.
I can't believe I said pop. Actually, I say you're wrong, but soda's the right word.
I would go get like 2 of each, and like 3 things of sweet and sour sauce. And
dude,
that was after a night of drinking. That was like the greatest thing to just like, okay, I can go lay down now.
Back when I had metabolism, so I used to.
I've never had one. I've been like this the whole time.
So I used to actually, when I went to college here in Weatherford, like where we're living now, we used to go to McDonald's, and I would get 2 Big Macs, a chicken sandwich, a large fry, and a large drink.
Jesus.
And I would finish it, and we used to do this like nightly. And it would cost me right at, I think it was like $10 for all of that. Could you imagine getting that right now and how much that would cost?
You can't get a Big Mac for $10.
Right. You can't even get the Big Mac meal for $10.
It's crazy. Like nobody has like dollar menus. They have the value menus.
They have value
menus.
More
expensive than the other items used to
be.
Do you remember when Hardee's had their $6 burger?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
For like $2.99.
Right.
Like it was it was worth $6, like a restaurant, like a fancy restaurant. You can barely get a double cheeseburger
burger's $8 now.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Sandwich only.
Yeah, it's nuts how much all this stuff is. Like the only one that's like forever the one that you like. Hey, I have $10 and I could fill up was like Taco Bell, and you can't even do that anymore. Taco Bell's fucking outrageous.
Yep,
and they don't even use real meat.
Absolutely,
that's been they admitted it. Kind of like it's like 80% meat. Go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? Like they don't care, and it's still this expensive.
Get out of here with that.
I obviously we're getting off track of the French fry thing, but I'm glad that we both like a crispy curl, as they're called.
Yes, absolutely.
Crispy curl.
So they were my favorite growing up. Hardee's, you know.
Same.
And it wasn't even Arby's. Now it's Arby's because we don't have a Hardee's, so I have to say Arby's. But I mean, Hardee's was like where you first got them with curly Q's. We always called them curly Q's growing up.
If you put those two side by side, Hardee's is hands down.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
My son basically eats chicken strips, pizza, or Dino chicken nuggets. And that's his entire food pyramid, right?
Lucky kid.
But I finally got him to try, and I say this like it's some health thing, but I finally got him to try something new, which was the curly fries at Arby's.
Yeah.
And he loves them. And like that's now like I buy them and just cook them in the air fryer for him. And he like all he wants is fries all the time. Which
it's really, I mean, that's awesome. It's really sad for me though, because I can't ever have Arby's fries again because they got rid of the chicken cordon bleu. So I refuse to go there.
Well, do yourself a favor. Go to Walmart, get the bag of the frozen ones, and cook them in the air fryer.
That's true. I could do that. Yeah.
They actually are good. A lot of fries you cook in the air fryer, they have a weird texture. Yeah. The curly fries are so thin that it doesn't matter.
So I've been doing the homemade fries. I
love homemade fries. There's actually, hold on. Let me forget everything I've just said.
We're on fast food, though.
The best French fries of all time are going to be ones that you make at home.
Right. But that's not fast food.
How many times do you cook them?
I've probably done them like 3 or 4 times.
No, I mean like when you make them, you just do you just do one fry.
What?
You just fry them once?
Well, no. So I'll put them in there. I fry them for about 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I'll put salt and usually pepper, or my wife really likes Lowry seasoning. Yeah, so I'll do Lowry's.
Yeah.
And then I put them in there for about another 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because it'll soak the seasoning into the actual.
Are you deep frying them or are you air frying them?
Air frying.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was meaning like a deep fry. I feel like if like genuinely deep fat
right.
fried potatoes. you do two cooks. You know what I mean? One to cook the inside and then one to cook up the outside. That's where I was going with that whole
Gotcha.
But those are they're not fast food, but those are the best. If you can find somewhere that makes like actual French fries there, like even like Five Guys.
Yeah.
Those are pretty good.
Yeah.
Even though like they come out, they don't cook them long enough. So
if they didn't cost $30 for the bag of them, yeah.
But it's so expensive.
It's
to eat
stupid.
Five Guys,
So, okay, I know we're going a little off topic with the fry thing here, but how I've been doing, you know, those little chopper things where you put like an onion or a tomato or something.
Yeah.
I just said two things you're not going to do, but
yeah, I'm not going to do either one of those. Yeah.
but you put them in there and you hit it down.
Slap chop.
Well, it's not quite the slap chop.
Okay.
Because slap chop is something different. This has like a little grate in it.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Yeah,
and you put it down. If you take that, like the actual top of it off and put it over a bowl, you can take a potato and just hit it a few times. And then I use, you know, a meat tenderizer and how they have a flat side and a tenderizing side. I use a flat side and just kind of hammer it down on it. And you can make perfect fries.
I have a mandolin slicer with an attachment that just...
So
and it makes a perfect little...
I do have a mandolin. I'm scared to death of mandolins. Just saying.
I get it.
So you have a fry attachment for your mandolin?
There's just a little blade attachment that is just matchsticks. Like
I got you.
Matchsticks, so you just slice them on.
I got you.
Again, I'm doing visual hand motions for an audio medium.
Right. My thing on this was, and I just came up with it one day because they come with the different types of grates. So they have the larger ones, which I really like the larger ones actually better because the small, tiny ones are like the shoestring.
Yes.
Shoestrings are garbage. Ugh. So I don't.
We agreed on a lot in between.
Right.
There, going right back to it. You make me mad again.
But yeah, just take that and just hammer it down. And I mean, you can do a potato in 2 seconds and then do the next potato. Man, that's how I've been doing them lately. They're really good too. But I mean, and I think cooking at home is, you know, I think it's healthier.
Makes a little, I was going to say it is a little healthier. And that brings me into like the next thing I want to like really talk about when it comes to fast food that everyone is just like so polarized on.
Right.
Is the health aspect of eating fast food. And if you're out there being like, you should never eat fast food, it's terrible, like you're fucking wrong. Like, is it unhealthy? Sure. But if you eat 37 oranges, that's also unhealthy.
Right.
Like
if you drink too much water,
yes, that
people die. They proved it.
So yes, is it something that you should eat every single day? Absolutely not. Should
you be able to enjoy it when you do go out and not have to worry about what other people are thinking? Absolutely. Yes. So get the fuck off our backs.
Yeah. And even like bigger than that is like how they make people feel bad about it. Right.
That's what I mean.
So, right. But some people, that is their treat, right? Like sometimes if you want to go treat yourself, you go to a fancier place or whatever. Sometimes that's what it is. Like McDonald's every now and again is like as good as it gets. So like fuck off. Like or families like to run and practice here and practice there. Like sometimes all you can do is get them a couple double cheeseburgers.
Man, for 3 years, my oldest son, all we did was eat fast food because we were at basketball, baseball, football, and I mean we didn't have time. Yeah, and like obviously you try to make better choices the rest of the time or whatever, but to harp on people and say like, oh my God, you're doing terrible things because you're all these bad habits. It's food. It's food that you can afford. So fuck off. Yeah. Absolutely. Just because I agree with you on that way, and you have the ability to cook at home every single meal. Not everybody does that. Now, are there other ways that, you know, these fast food joints could probably, you know, make it healthier? And you go back to like McDonald's, for instance, like we talked about how good their fries are. One of the reasons their fries are so good is because they're so fucking salty. So for me, I don't think like there's a lot of things people talk about on, you know, whether it be the pink slime or, you know, all the different things that, you know, for these places. Yeah. But for me, a lot of the content is salt. They put a lot of salt, and salt in most of the time is fine for you. But if you're eating like, if you're getting 3 large fries from McDonald's, your salt intake is probably a little too much. Too high for sure. But on the same, like when Morgan Spurlock did the Super Size Me documentary, I think his point was there are choices that can be made that are better. I think his point was you should never eat fast food ever again. You think that guy never ate McDonald's the rest of his life? I doubt that. I don't know. He may not. I still think, even after that, I still think he probably did. He did it for so long. He may not have. Did he eat fast food? Probably yes. I'm positive of that. McDonald's, maybe not.
I worked at Dairy Queen in high school, and for a long time, I could not eat Dairy Queen food, ice cream, anything. But now, like, I'm like, oh man, it'd be so cool to have a Blizzard. You know what I mean?
And like the closest one is like 100 miles away.
Yeah, yeah.
We did get to go there a few times.
I know, it was great. It was great. You got me an ice cream cake for my birthday.
I did.
It was very sweet of you.
I get them cakes.
You're a good friend, pal. You're wrong about a lot of things, but you're right about being a friend.
There we go. If there's one thing to be right about, that's the thing to be right about.
Yeah, especially with me. I'm a great friend back. I'm not.
You are most
iffy,
time.
Iffy at best.
Whatever.
I get so mad at people that harp on that and like, well, they need to offer salads. Okay, they offered salads and it's like, well, those salads are bad for you. They're made in a fast food restaurant.
Yeah, what do you expect? If you don't, and here's the other thing on that, and I'm just going to go a little tirade right now, and it has to do with everything in freaking life. If you don't want to do it, don't freaking do it. Leave other people alone.
Oh, God, thank you so much. Who gives a shit, right? If you don't like it, don't partake.
Right. I don't see McDonald's sitting out there saying, all of our food is healthy for you.
Nope.
They're not saying that. Everybody knows that, it's not probably the best thing you can make at home or anything like that. But sometimes people just need a break from cooking. Yeah. Some people, they're on the road. So guess what we need? We need like fast food places. We need places. We don't need sit down restaurants everywhere we go. Talk about bills. That's even more expensive.
Yes. You
want to talk about like we were just talking about how much things cost.
Yeah.
So if I go to a fast food joint, I can get, it's still a lot, but it's about $40-$50.
Yeah. For your family.
For my family.
Right.
Of 4. 2 kids, me and my wife. My oldest kid eats more than any of us, but that's $25 of it. But still, I mean, if I go to a sit down restaurant, if I go to a Buffalo Wild Wings, if I go to a mom and pop shop that we have here in town, anywhere I go, it's basically $100.
Yeah.
Anytime I go now, because the meals themselves are just so expensive. And then the drinks are $4 for drinks that I know don't cost that much. Nope. That's a whole different, thing.
Speaking of drinks though, and fast food, there's science behind this as to why McDonald's has the best, like beverage, especially Coke, but even like their Sprite's better. And there's everything. Were you going to talk about this?
Well, I mean, we can talk about it now, I guess.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you didn't know that.
You didn't tell me we were going to talk about it.
You didn't know that. No, you were absolutely correct. For whatever reason, their fountain, I don't know if actually I know why, because their carbonation is higher.
It's not even about that. So like the Coke for them, like most fast food places, the Coke, the syrup comes in like these bags that they hang up.
It's the boxes.
Right. Yeah. That doesn't do that at McDonald's. It's a metal tank that it's stored in. Okay. Look it up. I promise you this. I'm wrong about a lot of things. I have looked this up extensively.
I used to have to change out the bags.
I'm telling you right now. Then it wasn't the same back then. I'm telling you.
Oh, maybe not. Yeah, you may be right. Yeah, because that was like in late 90s. Yeah. That's all we're gonna say.
When I looked this up just the other day when we were talking about this, they have like a metal canister for the syrup. The lines are refrigerated instead of.
That's a huge thing, and so you are correct on that. Cold. Yeah,
the water is like double filtered or whatever when most places don't. So like there is science behind it.
Their carbonation though at McDonald's is different.
Yeah, the ratio is different. Yeah.
They have a different ratio, and other places say, no, that's not as good. And truthfully, that's what a lot of the companies say, that like if PepsiCo comes in and they're like, no, this is how it's supposed to be. And they're wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, McDonald's knows how to pour a Coke. That's for
right. Sure. Exactly. They know how to a Coke.
Yeah. Perfect sound effect. The point is of this health debate is that should you eat at every meal? Absolutely not. You should not. Agreed. If you have to,
right, or if you want to,
it's better than nothing, and that's more important. If you want to, then that's fine, and if you don't, go eat healthy shit. That's also fine.
That's my whole point. If you don't want to do that, then don't. But quit shaming other people for what they're doing
for anything.
Yeah. anything in life.
Hurting other people.
Correct. I mean,
shut up.
Yeah, if they're going around shooting people or stabbing people or.
And this is much bigger than just fast food.
Right.
If they're not hurting other people, shut up.
Yes. Agreed.
Well, I think
speaking of hurting other people, the fast food workers.
Are you saying they hurt people, or you want to hurt fast food workers?
Yes. Not always. And okay, that was a joke, guys. I would never hurt a person trying to do their job.
I think about it a lot. I go to the Taco Bell here in town. Maybe once a month. Yeah. I don't eat a lot of fast food anymore. I used to eat it quite a bit. I don't really eat it much anymore. So about once a month, I'll go eat at Taco Bell. And I hate tomatoes because they're disgusting. All right? If you like tomatoes, I'm not even going to say you're wrong. I get it. You want to eat a tomato, eat a tomato. I do not like them. The texture is gross. The taste is gross. Fuck off with tomatoes.
Right. I mean, they're healthy, so why would we?
So I ask no tomatoes. And every single time, Jeff, I'm like, please do not put tomatoes on this. I get home and I open it up. It is fucking double tomato.
I'm so glad they get my messages.
It makes me.
I'm so glad they get my notes that I pass them in the drive-thru.
Because mistakes happen, right?
Right.
This is not a mistake. This is a calculated attack. And I will not fucking stand for it.
You know, and you've been saying this for a long time, and I've seen it happen. I know it happens.
And I'm not a dick about it, but I'm very direct. Please do not put tomatoes on that. I have not one single time got it without tomatoes. Not one. The
funny thing is, like, I've never gotten a bad order from there. Only one bad thing has happened at Taco Bell here, but every order I've ever gotten has been fine. The only bad experience I did have at this particular location here and where we live is we got there one time and they didn't have enough workers, but they took our order. And so there's a lot of people in the drive-thru. We get like just beyond the speaker and we're stuck. And the one here has a curb that you cannot go over. Yeah. And we're in my wife's car, so if we were in my truck, it wouldn't have been as big of an issue. But then all of a sudden, like nobody's moving. And we're talking like 25 minutes for quote unquote fast food. Finally, people start just moving out. And like we get up to the window and they're like, hey, there's not enough people here. We can't make all the food. Okay. Why did it take them 25 minutes to realize that? So I was a little irritated at that. And like, we haven't been back a lot since. I think we've gone back a couple of times because the kids will get our youngest son will get a free taco thing. And of course we have to go then.
Sure.
But yeah, I agree with you on that note though. I don't know if it's still true to this day, but, for a long time, probably now too, I'm not allowed in, a Brahms here in Oklahoma. In one particular city that has a very big college because I threw a burger at somebody at a worker. Now, granted, I just said I would never hurt another, and truthfully, it was a burger. But what led up to this was an extraordinary event. I was dating a girl at the time, and she asked for a burger with nothing on it. She was going to add her own ketchup. That's what she was going to do. Because she just like a little bit of ketchup. If you ask for ketchup in some places, they put it on there a lot.
Sure. Yeah.
So she just wanted a plain burger. No cheese, no nothing.
That's weird, but go on.
Well, I didn't date her for very long.
Sure, I understand.
But at that point in time, you know, I was dating her. And so the first time it came out, it had everything on it. Absolutely everything. Tomato, onion, like everything.
Yeah.
So I bring it back and I was like, I'm sorry guys, you know, this isn't supposed to have anything on it. Like just meat and bun. They're like, okay. So it comes back. Now it has cheese. It had lettuce. It did not have tomatoes or onions. But it still had like other stuff.
How do you mess those two things up?
Right. So I bring it back and I was like, I just need a plain burger. Nothing on it. So, they hand it back to me. Now they're getting frustrated at this point. I don't know why. I didn't think it was that hard of an ask. Really, I thought it was like the easiest ask out there. They handed me just buns.
Just bread?
Yes, just bread. And I didn't. This isn't even when I threw it.
Oh, I would have right then.
Right. So
we would have ended up on the news that night.
I felt like I did my due diligence here, and I brought it up.
That was on purpose.
It absolutely was. Yeah. So I was like, I brought it up, and I was like, this was very rude, and all we want is a burger with bun, please. And the lady with a smirk on her face takes it back, hands me the package. But before I go back to the table this time, I opened it. Why it took me 3 times, I don't know. I'm an idiot. I get that. So I opened it, and it has ketchup, cheese, a burger, and the bun.
Oh, man.
And I was like, ma'am. And she looked at me. She put her hand up, and she goes, no more. So I threw a burger at a lady.
Was it still in the wrapper, or like just a naked burger?
No, it was naked burger. Yeah, it was the burger. Yeah. No, it was out of the wrapper at that point. I threw it at her.
I would have come across the counter.
She didn't call the cops or anything. She asked me to leave, and I was like, gladly. So yeah.
How did you throw it? Baseball? Frisbee?
No, Frisbee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was Frisbee.
So it had a
little zing to it. Yeah. It actually got her like right in the chin.
Yeah, I like that.
So it was, I was very proud of my shot there.
She probably still works there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that was a very fun, interesting event.
I mentioned before that I worked at Dairy Queen, and I probably told you this story before. I worked in the kitchen part. I was like a cook of it, and somebody ordered a 6-piece chicken strip basket, and I thought I had some, so I dropped 4 industry terms. Excuse me. I cooked 4 more chicken strips, right, to put into the 6.
You dropped them. You didn't.
Yeah,
you really didn't throw them
in the fry oil. I dropped them in the fry oil to cook. And when I went to put the basket together, I realized, oh shit, I only have 4.
Yeah.
So I took the basket
because it was a mistake.
Right, a mistake I made.
Because you're human.
Right. So I took that to the person, and I was like, hey, I'll cook you 2 more. Just take this and go. He's like, my fries will be cold by the time I get these other chicken strips. I was like, well, and of course, I'm a smart ass now. Imagine how I was at 17 years old. Right,
yeah.
And I was like, well, you don't have to wait on these to start eating. You can start eating now, and I'll bring them to you.
Yeah, because, you have 4.
And that pissed him off. And he's like, nope, I want I want all new ones. So I went in there, and I cooked 4 more pieces of chicken. And I don't know. I think I was just pissed off, and I didn't do it on purpose. I can tell you what I would admit to if I did it on purpose.
Yeah.
But then I brought him 4 more pieces of chicken with new fries. So at this point, he has 8 pieces of chicken, but 4 of them have been sitting here for 4 or 5 minutes or whatever, right? And he got fucking irate, started screaming at me. I'm 17 years old. He's screaming at me, trying to come across the counter. People have to like retain him back over chicken strips, right? And I'm yelling back, of course. I'm like, okay, if we're going to fucking fight, let's fight. You know what I mean?
Let's go.
And I smoked cigarettes at the time. So there was like, just go outside and smoke a cigarette. So I went out back and I'm smoking a cigarette. And the dude drives by in a church van full of children. Like he was like a youth pastor or something. And he gets out as I'm smoking a cigarette and tries to fight me again. And people like wrangling us apart again over chicken strips.
Chicken strips are,
I've seen both sides of this argument here. But I also know that like there's a difference between like malicious,
right,
just constantly fucking up because you can't just
there's a competence,
right,
and then there's mistakes,
and there's also the argument as if like they're like people, well, we don't want to pay them more because they don't deserve it because they do things like that. And like, okay, but also if this was a position that paid more,
right, you
would have people that would care about it.
Yes.
Because right now the people that are making $12 an hour or whatever it is now, which is way more than it was when I was in there, but still not
$7.25,
which is what I made.
Right.
Which I think that's still what
it was $5.15 when I was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
not at your place, but at McDonald's.
It is not a livable wage. It's not a way to make it. So, but you want people to treat it that way, right? All you're going to get if you pay minimum wage or close to it are people that don't give a shit about the job that you're asking them to do.
Well, they're going to give minimum effort.
Right. Why would anyone try harder? Right. Why would they try? Anyone try harder?
Yeah.
So it's this weird limbo that nobody's breaking on. And the only person that's really suffering are the consumers as we try to go no fucking tomatoes on our tacos.
Nobody cares about consumers.
That's for sure.
But I mean, on that note, also, I mean, the people that would work hard, that would probably move up, aren't going to put up with bullshit either. So some of that is on the consumers too. Sure. I mean, they're treated shitty.
Of course.
I mean, I worked in retail for a long time.
Both you and I worked in retail for a long time, so we know how people are. Right. Absolutely.
I've had batteries thrown at me. I've had car chargers thrown at me. I've had a lot of things thrown at me. Maybe I wasn't good at my job. And come to think of it, now that I'm going through these stories,
in hindsight,
but I mean, at the same time, like there's a lot of people that have a short fuse and think that they're better than other people because, you know, of what they make.
Yep.
So if we, you know, incorporate, I'm not even saying that we have a national minimum wage hike. I think it's corporations that should do it more than national minimum wage.
Yeah.
I think they won't. Right. Because I mean, it's about profit. You look back and even in the 80s, I mean, you had managers that made a lot of money for that time.
Yeah.
And they were very proud of being a manager. It was a high position to be a manager of anything, whether it be a McDonald's or a Radio Shack or a manager of a bank. You were a manager. It had a title. It had something. Yeah. Now, if you're a manager at McDonald's, do you think anybody walking in that is a manager of a bank would treat you the same way?
Nope.
No, absolutely not. So, I mean, I think a lot of this perception.
Most people that are a teller at a bank wouldn't treat a manager at McDonald's
because they look down on that.
Right.
And I think the perception has to change amongst consumers too, of like people are worth more, not because of what they make, but what they do. And I think that would change a lot.
If there's one thing I know about the population of America is that we are very willing to change our opinions on things.
Absolutely.
That's a good.
I think about 70 million people are. I think they're.
You think they're changing their opinion now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think so. Maybe half of those people. Anyway, I think now's a good time to take a break and hear these fine words from our very prestigious sponsors.
And if you wanted to sponsor this part of the show, please email us.
Yeah. We'll gladly
Instagram us.
Say your name.
Yes.
And you give us money to help keep this podcast going.
Yeah. Today, it's our podcast that's sponsoring this.
Yes. Today's podcast is sponsored by Jeff and Josh.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, which, you know, we don't pay very well.
I pay nothing.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting anything either. I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to feel left out, but no, I'm not getting anything.
No, you're not getting anything. I'm not getting anything.
All right, and we're back.
And we're back from our sponsor.
We've had a lot of good conversations about fast food, but there is something that I want to throw at you. We like to do a weekly top 5, and sometimes that's a quick draft of a topic, and we thought that might be too broad. There's just too many fast food places. So what I'm going to do instead is a top 5 items on your last meal, your death row. You're on death row, and the only thing they have is fast food.
Right.
What are your top 5 items and your final meal on earth?
Are you on death row because you killed a worker?
Yes. Someone put tomatoes on my taco, and I killed the entire restaurant. And
couldn't get my burger right.
And true irony, my last meal has to come from fast food places. So
that would be awesome.
Go for it. And this isn't a draft, so we can pick the same things. So you go first.
Do you want my full meal? Yes. So I'm doing a full meal. So
So are you talking like entree, side, appetizer?
Not really doing appetizer.
So what do you have? Tell me your 5.
So I have my drink. Yeah. I have a treat, but I won't call that treat a dessert.
Okay.
And then I have a appetizer, or not an appetizer, I'm sorry. A entree, and then a side for that entree. And then I have my dessert.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I'm anxious to see what the difference between a treat and a dessert is.
I know, right?
So go ahead.
Okay. So my first one is it may actually shock you, but it's a Whopper from Burger King.
It's a good choice.
I love me a Whopper.
That's a good choice.
I've liked them since I was a kid, and then where I grew up, we didn't have a Burger King, so I went years without a Whopper. And then in my senior year in high school, they put a gas station and had a little Burger King next to it. And so I finally got Whoppers. With that though, on the side of that Whopper would be the Burger King onion rings.
Okay.
So it's two Burger King things, which kind of threw me. Like when I was writing it down, I wasn't expecting that.
Two BK items. Yeah.
But the onion rings at Burger King, I mean, I cannot think of a better thing on a side. But that's me. My treat with that though, would be a Wendy's Frosty.
That's a good choice.
Well, yeah, because it's not, because with a Wendy's Frosty, I don't consider it a dessert, but it's also not a drink. So it's kind of like just a treat. A lot of people dip their fries in it, stuff like that. I just think it's kind of like a midway point between the dessert and the entree.
Yeah, I get that.
And then for my drink though, is a McDonald's Coke.
McDonald's Coke is a great choice.
And absolutely what we said earlier, you know, McDonald's does it right. Their Cokes are amazing. So yeah, that would be, if it wasn't that, it probably would have been which I guess it's fast food, but I actually like, this is going to sound weird, a peach mango water from Sonic.
That's really good too. The flavored waters.
Yeah, flavored waters. And I mean, if people want to bitch about that being unhealthy, they can kiss my ass.
Blackberry water from Sonic.
They're really good. Yeah. And then my dessert is a McDonald's apple pie.
Oh,
old school apple pie though. So the
fried, not the new baked ones.
Correct.
Right.
Yes. The old fried apple pies, man, you do not get better than that I will say Hardee's had their cinnamon rolls. Those are close. Those are close. I used to get those. That's what I used to get for dessert when we went to Hardee's. But and their apple turnover. Actually, it was the apple turnovers I used to get. I got cinnamon rolls for breakfast when we'd go there for breakfast. But yeah, they're apple turnovers.
Yeah,
they're really good. So what's yours?
I feel like in the grand scheme of things, of people listening to this, I feel like more people will probably relate to yours than to mine, and that's fine. Because this is personal, right? This is our opinion.
I mean, you're still wrong, but it's fine.
A Popeyes chicken sandwich.
I've never eaten a Popeyes.
That's insane.
I didn't have one where we grew up. Do we have one in this town?
No, but there's one in Oklahoma City.
Right, but if I go to the city, I'm gonna eat places that I know.
I get that. But one of these days we have to. We'll be up there for some reason. You got to have Popeyes. It's the best.
I don't want to sit. I'm eating at the Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's in that one spot that has the most amazing sandwich that I have no idea why.
Side story before I dig in any further to my favorite meal here. For our job we have to go through security screenings, and we have to go to a certain location to do part of that. So I went to do mine, and like right next door to this is a KFC. And I pulled in there, ate KFC, and it was the best KFC experience. One of the best fast food experiences, period, that I've ever had in my life. Cut to a year or so later.
Yeah.
Jeff is going to do the same thing at the same place.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if I was getting ready to tell you about the KFC there, or we're talking about going to, and you mentioned, I went to KFC, and I was like, wasn't it awesome? Like, it's the best I've ever had in my life. Like, and
it was crazy that we were both, and then we talked about it for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
How that one
was this one location.
Yes.
It's not even there anymore. It really is. I was just kidding. I was making it sound like it.
Dude,
you
really scared me for a second. It's like, by a UPS.
There's not been a KFC there in 20 years.
It's by a UPS store.
A haunted location. Yeah. It's at a UPS store, and there's a GameStop right next to it. And it's, so if you're in that region,
it's North Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to tell exactly.
Yeah,
North Oklahoma City, UPS store with a GameStop
across the street, and
a KFC, and they're all in that one little kind of the same parking lot area.
The GameStop's across the street.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. The KFC's in the same parking lot.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. Do yourself a favor. Go there. It was a tremendous.
It was crazy. It was so good.
It didn't taste like fast food. It tastes like. You know, when you in your head, you're like, oh, KFC is good because you had it one time when you were a kid. It's that. It is this weird, nostalgic perfection.
Yep.
Anyway, a Popeye's chicken sandwich, Hardee's curly fries, a peanut butter milkshake from Dairy Queen.
Okay, yeah.
A McChicken, doubling up on the chicken. I thought long and hard about maybe doing a double cheeseburger to go right, but if I'm having my druthers here, if I'm getting ready to die,
there you go, yeah.
I'm getting ready to die, I want the big chicken sandwich
I should have said a triple Whopper.
and the little chicken sandwich. And the last one is dessert, right?
Yes.
Okay. For my entire life, I would have also said a McDonald's fried apple pie. About 2 weeks ago, I went to Taco Bell where they fucking put tomatoes in my taco. But they have a new dessert. There's some sort of churro, something like a birthday cake filled churro or something.
Yeah.
It is the greatest fucking thing I've ever eaten dessert wise from a fast food place in my life. It's insane how good they are. And maybe they're not for everybody because they're like very super sweet.
So maybe we should go there right after we finish this podcast.
When we're done with this, we're going to go get 4
Sounds good.
each.
We'll take my son's truck since he can't drive.
He can't drive it.
Yeah, and it just got fixed.
Perfect. Yeah, we have a test drive.
I do really.
Churros.
Yeah.
They're so good, and they're warm. It's like the inside is like it's like warm and gooey. Oh my god, it was so good. I didn't even care about the tomatoes at that point. But that's if I'm getting ready to die, that's my meal. We've mentioned that I don't like onions. We've mentioned I don't like tomatoes.
I don't like onions. I like tomatoes. I don't have a problem with tomatoes. I am with you on Taco Bell though. I don't get tomatoes in my Taco Bell stuff.
I don't want it on that.
Yeah, I get lettuce though. A lot of people don't like lettuce that's wilted and that. I don't mind it.
I don't want it inside. People put it on like a Crunchwrap Supreme, and that's disgusting. You mentioned lettuce earlier on your McChicken. I don't like it on that either because it gets all slimy and wilty. It's gross.
As long as you put mayo, because they'll put the mayo on top of the chicken, and then they put the lettuce on top of that.
If the lettuce is on top of, if it's a big piece of lettuce where it stays cold and crispy, I like lettuce. If it is
like the McDLT.
Back in the day, I was never able to enjoy one of those.
Oh, they were the best things ever. I still remember the McDLT.
I've heard lots about them.
They are. I'm so mad right now. They talked about bringing them back. They had a way to bring them back, and they decided not to. And I'll hate McDonald's forever for that.
We should burn them down. We should burn them all down.
You know what else was one of the things, way off topic, that they used to do? They used to have these records, little records that would come with certain meals, and the McDLT was one of those meals, and you get a record. Really? And you would play it. And it was a contest. If it went through the whole Big Mac song, or no, not the Big Mac song. I think it was a McDLT. I don't remember.
They had their own song too?
They had their own song. It may have been the Big Mac song. I really don't remember. I'd have to look that one up. But if it made it all the way through without messing up, then you won.
Really?
And yes. So there's like
Monopoly game. They had this. Interesting.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I just remembered that actually when we were talking about the because I remember sitting down there eating my DLT and listening to the record.
That's crazy. Yeah. And they did away with it because of the containers it came in, right?
Yes, because they weren't biodegradable.
Yeah.
And so they didn't have a way to keep them separate.
There's got to be a way to do that
keep
now.
Separated. They didn't have a way to do that. So now they do though, because they can use that cardboard. And so they talked about bringing it back, and they didn't. And I'm seriously, it really pissed me off.
That's funny.
I didn't eat at McDonald's myself outside of getting my kids stuff for almost a year because they didn't bring it back when they said they were going to.
You're holding a grudge.
I haven't eaten at Arby's in probably 3 years.
Because they don't have that one sandwich?
The chicken cordon bleu sandwich. I hold grudges when it comes to food.
I get it.
Fast food.
People shit on Arby's a lot too, by the way. Dude, Arby's
Dude, I will, even outside of the chicken cordon bleu, their big roast beefs, even their small roast beefs, they're really good. That Arby's sauce on it, it's pretty good. Now I want one. I'm not going to go there though.
The beef and cheddar with a little Arby's sauce on it is so good. That French dip is really good.
So my issue with the beef and cheddar is it's $2 more for that little squirt of cheddar, and it just makes me mad.
And the onion bun, sir. Don't forget the onion
bun. You're right.
Which I don't like onions, but I like onions that cooked and stuff. Oh, where I was going with that too, by the way.
I
got off track. No, don't be sorry. This whole thing is off the rails. I don't really like condiments on a burger. I'll do mayonnaise and ketchup sometimes, but I don't like mustard. You know I hate mustard.
Mustard's so good.
And I don't like onions.
I like Whataburger.
I got a double cheeseburger the other day from McDonald's, and I ordered it the way I normally do. A lot of times I'll just do it plain there, which isn't my favorite, but it's just easier because, like I said, they don't put too much of it. It's just easier to do it plain. And it came everything on it, right? And I'm driving, so I'm unwrapping. I take a bite of it, and my first reaction of like biting into all of it, I was like, "Oh my god!" And that was a couple months ago.
Yeah,
I've been there twice because my son loves Happy Meals. So and I'll just grab a double cheeseburger. I've ordered them. Just stock, if you will.
Stock.
With the mustard and the onions and everything. Yeah. It's so fucking good.
Right.
It's stupid. I hate onions. Why are they so good on that?
Well, because your taste buds are changing because you're growing up, young man.
Finally becoming an adult.
Your palate's changing as an adult.
I still like tomatoes, though.
Well, and I get that.
They can fuck.
My wife hates tomatoes. She'll eat like tomatoes that are cooked in things.
Yeah, I can do that with chili or soups or whatever.
So she'll do that.
Tomato soup. Tell me that. It is just ground up tomatoes.
Well, that's kind of fucked.
And I love tomato soup
with a grilled cheese.
With a grilled cheese, dip the grilled cheese in.
I like grilled ham and cheese with it, and a lot of people don't like that.
Here's something real white trash. I don't know how. I mean,
you're gonna go spam, aren't you?
I've given you little indications that like the white trash is in my blood. You know what I mean? This might be the most. Okay. Well, no, me having a mullet most of my life was the most. Also, if you make a kid have a mullet, you're wrong. I know that's going to be a real, if anyone hears this around here, that's going to be a real controversial fucking statement. You're so wrong and you should be arrested. That's how wrong you are. But yeah, me having a mullet most of my life is probably the most white trash part. But I don't know, my grandpa's always done it. My dad always did it. You cut up hot dogs into the tomato soup.
I've seen that before.
Have you really? Yeah, I've never seen it outside of like the shame as I'm eating it. But also, you know what I mean? So
I've seen a lot of people do that, and I've seen a lot of people do like hot dogs in macaroni and cheese.
I've seen that. Yeah,
I've seen that.
For children, not adults, but children.
Well, screw you, man. I like me a hot dog.
I love hot dogs, but like cutting them up in macaroni and cheese.
What does it matter if they're on the side or if they're inside?
I just told you I don't think tomato soup.
All right? I think you're wrong on that. I think
would I serve it to guests? No, I wouldn't.
I would 100%.
Every time I make tomato soup, I cut up a fucking hot dog in that son of a bitch.
But so you want white trash though? So one of my favorite sandwiches,
like Mountain Dew for breakfast, white trash. We talking.
I did that too.
T-tops.
But that was
what are we talking about? White trash? Are we talking?
So one of my favorite sandwiches. I mean, we weren't very financially well growing up.
Sure, same.
Yeah. And so one of my favorite sandwiches growing up was mustard and cheese sandwiches. That's all it was. Mustard, cheese, and bread.
That's not white trash. That's sad.
To this day, I will every now and again, if I just want something simple, like I don't want to like a full meal or something like that. If I don't want to put
just bread and
mustard. Because of that, I do change a lot of like what I do food wise. Like when I make sandwiches for my boys, like I'll do roast beef, ham, turkey. For my younger son, I will do lettuce on it, and that's it because he doesn't like a whole lot of stuff. But my oldest son, I will do the lettuce, tomato. And then I use a sandwich oil. Yeah. Like I do all the stuff.
I get that. I'm the same way. I also grew up with some hardships. So like when it comes to Dawson,
right?
I'm like, I go all out.
What you want is what you get.
Everything. Yes. I go all out.
It's it's already
we're
backfired.
Raising monsters for sure.
It's already backfired.
Yeah, we're raising monsters.
I mean, that's what my son doesn't do is fucking homework. But
yeah, because you put oil on a sandwich.
Exactly.
Fucking
oil and sandwich. You know what? We weren't eating sandwiches for a while. Like we would just do like other stuff. And about a month ago, we started eating sandwiches again. So that's what it is.
Man, you might be onto something.
Yeah. I put oil on sandwiches and he's like, look, I don't have to do shit.
Cut off the sandwiches. He doesn't get it.
Yeah.
This ain't Jimmy John's.
Speaking of which, my wife, if she was having her top 5, I could almost guarantee her thing would be an unwich, which is basically just... So I've had them before. They're not bad.
I know, but Jimmy John's as a whole is not a good sandwich.
So that's what I was about to say. So like they're not bad, but I think that's because I hate the bread at Jimmy John's.
But even
it's like a weird like plastic bread.
We didn't talk about other lanes of food other than like with the fast food. We kind of briefly talked about like fried chicken places when it comes, but the sandwich shops. Okay. Hands down, Firehouse Subs is the best sandwich you're going to get. All right. remember when Subway used to be the shit? When I was a kid,
I still like Subway.
When I was a kid, the Subway was like good, but now you go there and it's like I could do better if I went to Walmart and got all these products. You know,
you could back then too. You just didn't know.
Right,
because my mom loves making sandwiches.
Right, but it was good. It was good quality. Now it does not seem like
it was
quality.
A new fast food place though, and I think that was something new. So remember when they did the V cut and the bread and everything, and then they top it with the V. So I used to get, which you're not going to like because it tastes like water, but I used to get the seafood and crab. It was so good.
It doesn't taste like water. It tastes like it comes from the water.
Okay, then that's fucking water.
No, it's the same thing.
It's what? If you say
I never said once that it tastes like water. It tastes like it comes from the water.
What does that mean? If it doesn't taste
take a bite of a fish, that's what I mean. So that's the fucking thing I mean.
Is that what the water tastes like?
No.
Is that what you're saying? Then what do you mean?
Like, I don't know.
If that's not what the water tastes like.
Cow, do you taste grass? No. But you know what beef tastes like? All beef tastes like it beef, right? I mean,
what?
What do you mean? What
does that mean? So you're saying it come like just out of the water?
Yeah, it all tastes like seafood. Was the point of that? It's a funny way of saying it all tastes like fish.
You're taking like the taste of not necessarily water. So no. I don't want you yelling at me again.
Yeah, I will yell at you. No, I don't give a fuck about the taste of water.
But you're saying it comes out of the water. Okay, yes, I'll go with you on that.
It tastes like it lives in water. They all taste the same. They all taste like fish and shit.
But you're wrong.
I'm not
They
wrong.
all have different tastes.
Yes, but they all taste like fish. They do all taste different. You're right. But I can tell fish. I can tell the fishy taste in all of them. In shrimp, crab.
Shrimp doesn't taste anything like a salmon.
I didn't say it tastes like it. It tastes like it comes from the water. It has a fishy taste to it.
So if it tastes like it comes from the water, what flavor would that be? Would that be water?
I don't know. Fishiness. No, it doesn't taste like water. You're acting like you're going to trick me on something, like some sort of fucking gotcha moment, like we're on TMZ. Listen, man, it doesn't taste like water. I never once said it tastes like water. It tastes like it lives in water.
I think we're going to go back on this later.
Oh, yeah. We'll do a whole fucking episode on seafood and you'll see. I don't know how anyone can take a bite of fish or shrimp it all tastes the exact same to me.
To you?
Sometimes.
It's okay to be wrong, remember? That's the whole point of this.
That's not about being wrong. It's about personal preference, right? Like cilantro. Can I think of the word cilantro? Some people eat it and it tastes like soap.
Right.
Are you one of those people?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like cilantro.
I do. I love cilantro. It doesn't taste like soap to me at all.
But that's why I say it tastes like soap to me.
Right.
I don't say
it all tastes like it comes from the water to me.
You didn't say that though.
In this reporter's opinion, Jeff, it tastes like fucking fish.
You didn't mark that as opinion.
Your kids are in here and I'm shouting curse words. I apologize. It tastes like fish.
They've heard worse.
I'm sure.
What I'm saying though is you didn't say to me, you said this is like as a fact. You didn't say it as a fact.
I assumed it was inferred that it was from me. And also I genuinely don't get yes, shrimp does taste different than salmon.
Right.
But it all tastes, I don't know what else to say other than fish.
It has it has a unique taste that you taste in all of it.
Yes, and I don't care for any of that stuff. Trust me, I've tried. I wish I fucking loved fish.
He just likes to call it water.
Yes, I don't even say it tastes like water. It tastes like it comes from the water.
Right.
Which isn't the same thing. You're looking at me like, no, you're wrong. Like they're not
you
all
are
the
wrong.
same thing.
You are wrong. It's fine.
Same thing.
Seafood is amazing.
I beg to differ. I demand to differ.
You demand to differ. That's fine.
I don't even remember what we were talking about to get here.
I know. This is what happens when I bring up seafood. We're talking about any type of food.
Angry. Why anyone likes that? I don't understand. I went to celebrate something once for my job. My boss took me out to this really nice place. and he did get me the most expensive steak I've ever had in my life, which was amazing. But for appetizers, it was like 3 different fucking seafood items. So they're talking about how great I am and how thankful he is that I'm here. And I'm just like, you guys eat up and let me know if you like it. Because I'm not touching any of this shit.
That's funny. It's good stuff.
Man, yeah, I don't remember where we were at. We
try pearls.
No, I remember. I know where we were to go eat.
I took you to Pearl's once.
We went to but they had
they did. Yeah, you didn't
gumbo, which is delicious. As long as it's like chicken and sausage gumbo. I don't want seafood gumbo, obviously.
It tastes like water.
But I never fucking said that. You can say that you got me all you want. It doesn't matter. I wanted. Well, I don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about the churros from Taco Bell's the last thing I remember, and then I started.
Man,
I blacked out.
You blacked out like hard.
I blacked out, and I woke up to yelling about shrimp. I don't know how it got here.
Oh, that's so good, man.
I don't even know.
We were just talking about good stuff.
No, we're talking about terrible.
We were actually talking about like how we growing up and like being poor, and I was eating the cheese and mustard sandwiches.
Yeah, and a poor thing that I used to eat were those little canned sausages.
Yeah.
That was something that we had. That was dinner.
Vienna sausages?
Vienna sausages, yeah. I don't think I could eat one of those now.
I can't. So that was one thing that I had a roommate, and he loved Vienna sausage. We can go on a whole thing on things he liked that were gross, but he loved Vienna sausage.
Genuinely liked them?
Oh yeah, so we went to Sam's because we were poor.
Yeah.
So we would go to Sam's because we could buy cans of cheese. That wasn't really cheese, FYI. It just said nacho cheese on it, and it was black and white. Yeah. It was that type of thing. Which, truthfully, for us at that time, that was awesome. We would get some, the 10-pound tube of meat-ish. We would get that, and
meat-like substance, yeah,
right. And we would fry it, until the gelatin kind of went away from it, and we'd put that on some chips that were stale. Sure. And then we would put the cheese on top, and we'd have nachos. I mean, nacho-ish.
Nacho-ish, yeah.
Yeah, but they were really good. I still remember that. Now, will I ever go back to that? Hell no.
No. There's a lot of things
but you look back on that stuff, and you're like, you know what? For that time in my life, I made it through it.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was fun. Yeah. But I'll never eat a fucking Vienna sausage.
No.
He used to buy them, by the case.
I do still like Spam.
See, Spam's not bad to me. Yeah. It was actually one thing that, as poor as we were and everything, we didn't eat Spam.
Well, Spam is, kind of expensive. People talk about it being a poor food.
It used to not be, though.
I know, but now you look at
yes.
It's like $5.
That's because everybody talked about, this is what I did. You think about burn ends and stuff like that. That's true, it started off as real cheap.
We will definitely have
an
episode of barbecue.
Right.
Yeah, but you're right.
People Carolina barbecue. That's what I'm talking about.
Don't even. Listen, I'm about to break the laptop.
It ain't mine. That would be kind of dumb if you're asking me. Does it taste like water?
I hate you so bad. You know what? I feel like we've had a good episode. So maybe it's time that we start closing her down.
Yeah, probably so.
You guys reach out to us on Instagram. You're wrong pod, and let us know what you want to be called. Not individually your names, but as a collective.
But truthfully, if they want to be called a certain thing, I'm fine with that. I'm still fine with that kind of stuff. They want
to be called like individual names, like each individual person. We have to call them out every time.
Sure.
Okay. Well, odds are we won't have enough to worry about. We'll get through that list pretty quick, I would assume. And you can also send us emails at sowrongpod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear for you. Topics that you want us to argue about, things that you want us to tell us how wrong you are. You want to tell us how great we're doing. We really need the confidence boost.
I don't think we're getting that one.
We would love to hear from you. I gotta say, man, I have been loving doing this.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun.
Even if no one else listens but us, I am going to continue to do this for as long as you'll do it.
Absolutely. And I'm the same way. And I hope everybody understands that Josh and I did this for 3 years.
Yeah.
We did this for 3 years every day.
Yep.
While we worked together, because we were the only two in that department.
Yeah.
And so, we did this every day. It hasn't stopped.
No. A lot of times it's the same things we're still arguing about.
Yeah. And we're probably going to have multiple episodes of the same things because we'll always go back to certain things because we're very passionate about our, he's very passionate about like seafood tasting like water.
It's gross. No.
So,
it tastes like water. I like water. Yeah, so feel free to hit us
And I'm
up.
already done with my beer, so we do have to wrap this up.
I'm also with my beer. Well, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was a lot better than that bullshit we drank last week. I'll tell you that. That was terrible. So good job.
But they do a good job. They try.
They do. Yeah, they do. They try real hard, and that's, got to give them effort for that.
Yeah.
Or kudos for the effort. is what I
Yeah,
meant.
I was going to say, I'm not giving them effort, but,
but-
I'm not going there to make it.
Also, if you guys have suggestions for beer,
Absolutely.
or you want to donate for us to try a specific beer, we can get that and let us know. We could set up some sort of, I don't know, Venmo or something. I don't know how it works.
Cash App, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. If you guys want to send enough money to get a 6-pack so we can try it and
Right.
let you know what we think of your
You
favorite
can't
beer.
send us anything because the state we live in, outside of, Oklahoma, like you can't send liquor into a person unless they have a liquor license to
Yeah,
sell.
that's true. So you can send us money, we can go get it.
Right.
though. As long as we have access to it. Like if it's a local beer in a different state, we may not be able to get it here. But
You can send us recommendations. We can look it up and let you know.
We'll see what we can find. I would love to hear your opinions on that too. I hope that by this point we have piqued your interest enough to at least check us out, at least subscribe to the podcast.
Absolutely.
But and I thank each individual person that listens, especially my favorite listener. Thank you. I love you.
You're pretty cool. I love you too.
And
Not to you, to her.
yeah, I get it. And as always, tune in again next week as Jeff tries to argue that it's actually more efficient to put shoes on before your pants. Weird. And why Jared from the Subway commercials
Depends on the
was
pants.
just misunderstood. That seems like an uphill battle. See you guys next
That
week.
seems like a very uphill battle. See everybody next week.